I think that's really unfair to say if you are complicit with 5G, then you're a paedophile. I've been perfectly fine on 4G.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 24th episode of your favourite parenting podcast. This is Overly Honest Dads. Thank you for joining us. My name is Matt and I am your host, and I'm joined inevitably by Magnus.
Hi guys.
And John.
Hello.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, not too bad. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been ages since I last saw you guys. What's happened? What's going on with you?
Well,
oh mate, I'm horny, baby.
Well, that's not an ideal way to start the show.
A parenting podcast in particular.
Is that a threat?
Well,
are you threatening us with a good time?
And anyway, you say that horniness isn't a great way to start a parenting podcast, but if it wasn't for that initial bit of horniness, we would not be parents and we wouldn't be doing a parenting podcast.
Good point.
That is essentially horniness, and hot sex is why we're here. Or passionless baby planning sex, which is probably more accurate. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So let me tell you what's in store for you lucky people in this podcast. We're going to start out inevitably with dad news, where we tell you about what's been going on in our lives as dads. And then we go on to a review. I am doing the review this week, and I'm going to review one of Amelie's toys. After that, we go on to the world of parenting, where our boffin Magnus gives us a science story.
I'm not a boffin.
You are definitely well, in the context of our podcast, you are a boffin. And then John, our jester, gives us a nonsense story that we found, and that's very much in keeping with his personality.
I am nonsense, Magnus.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go and hang myself after we finish this recording.
Nonsense man over there, and then we finish off with "Am I being unreasonable?"
Knowledge mag, nonsense man. Fucking rules. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So dad news. I can't remember who I said was going first. Was it John?
Yes, it is.
Okay, John, take us away.
So, actually, outside of my role as the jester, it's a bit of a serious one this week. So my son, the third, not John the third, as in Liam, the youngest, he is born with, you named it earlier, because strabismo in Italian, it's called...
Strabismus?
Strabismus, there you go in English. He was born with that due to the pressure that he had during birth. Mm-hmm. He had a girl in his class who had the same thing.
Okay. And
she had the operation last year. And they fixed her eye, and he's been asking for the operation. So tomorrow, I'm actually going to the hospital with him to do the first tests and sort of the pre-op discussion.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's just, I think the idea of your kid going under the knife and anesthesia and all the rest kind of worries you.
How does that feel as a parent?
Yeah, fear. I think fear. I mean, anesthesia and all the rest of it, and And
it's
my
like
wife,
out of your control, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then my wife has got me watching this. I fucking hate it, Grey's Anatomy, because I've been forcing her to watch all like cool stuff like Afterlife and really cool like TV shows. And she's like, "Oh, but you never watch any of my stuff." So we're watching Grey's Anatomy, and you see all this fucked up shit on Grey's Anatomy, and I'm like, my kid's going in for an operation. Why am I watching this shit? It's really fucking with my head. So I am slightly concerned. It's typical fear as a parent with your kid going under the knife and whatnot. But he is going to be a happier child because he really wants it. He keeps asking for it because I think people are starting to point it out. He's starting to realise he's different, which is not cool. He's still going to need glasses because his eyesight is not great. I'm the only one in the family with 20/20 vision. All my kids wear glasses, bless them. So yeah, he's going to have the operation. But yeah, tomorrow is a pre-op discussion and the first tests, and then sort of see how we go. So yeah, a bit worried, bit grown up discussion from the jester, but
fingers crossed for Liam.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Indeed.
Best
yes,
of
indeed.
luck.
Yeah, I still don't have a date, by the way, on when it's going to happen. So fuck knows when it goes, because with COVID everything's delayed. But we'll see.
He'll be fine.
He'll do well. He'll do well. It won't be a problem, I'm sure.
But yeah. So something funnier, please, Magnus.
Oh God. Well, dad news. God. Okay. I've been a dad for 19 months now. No. I have proper dad news. So I said in the last episode that we were watching Kötek, which is this Czech mole cartoon, and it's very popular.
And by mole, we don't mean like a spy. It means like the animal.
Yeah.
Like a
skin abnormality.
Yeah. It's like
mole.
little mole or something. Kötek. And Quinn loves Kötek, and she shouts for Kötek. If she sees a laptop, she's like, mole, mole, mole.
Mole?
However, this cartoon is somewhat dated. There's some really fucking questionable things going on in that cartoon. Now, if anyone hasn't heard of it before. I really recommend you go check it out and show it to your kids as well. The animation, and objectively, this, in my opinion, is really good. It reminds me of the old Looney Tunes, like really, really good animation, very clear. However, some of the content's a bit odd. Now, there is one scene which flipping blindsided the fuck out of me. I had no idea what was going on. Yeah, I'm just watching it with her, and we're like, yeah, the mole's fucking cool. And out of nowhere, the rabbit is pregnant and on its back, and Kurtik, I think it's Kurtik, comes along and pulls fucking rabbit out of the baby rabbit out of his vagina.
And it's quite graphic, isn't it?
It's very graphic.
Can I make a comment on this? Magnus dropped this shit out of nowhere. I think it was first thing this morning. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning.
Into our WhatsApp group.
In our WhatsApp group, and I'm watching this cartoon weird thing with like a little hole expanding and something comes out of the little rabbit. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, there is a
It's
fucking
so
black
weird.
hole.
There is like
Half
a
5
cartoon
in the morning, it
vagina.
scarred me,
Yeah,
man.
there's a cartoon
I'd never
vagina.
seen a cartoon vagina outside of, Pornhub
Yeah.
before today.
Yeah.
It does not. It does not anime.
Proper furry fantasy that was.
Yeah, it really was.
And the baby rolls out like a ball.
Yeah.
And they're all happy.
So messed
And and I'm not like, yeah. That shit was traumatizing.
I was driving to work this morning, just like, what the fuck did he send me? Like,
You can hear
Yes.
Romy squirming, and she's like, "No, Quinn, look away, no!" Flipping shocking, man.
we are going to be posting this on our Instagram account.
Dear.
And Romana will kill me, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, it'll be posted on our Instagram account in the coming weeks.
Yeah, so check out our Instagram account at Overly Honest Dads to see
Yeah.
this cartoon porn. Essentially. Do you think it's going to get taken down from Instagram? I'm not sure it's going to stay up very
The amount
long.
of shit you see on Instagram, that's nothing.
Yeah, you
That's
see some
nothing.
horrendous stuff
Yeah.
out there. Anyway, so my dad news, it's not so
No one
much
asked you.
dad related. Oh, fuck you.
We didn't manage to do the hand down. It's terrible.
We
should
know
have-
that this is Matthew McGinley's Overly Honest Dads at this point.
I know.
So let's
Yeah,
not
you
pretend
handle it.
otherwise. Anyway, so but it's not so much dad news as more husband news because it's been 4 years since I got married.
Yeah.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. These two were here at my wedding. They were present and correct
And
for
drunk.
that. Yeah, and
Very.
John mooned a passing barge.
Did I?
Yeah, there was a canal boat full of women, and you mooned them.
Are you?
Did I?
Yes.
You're chronically vulgar.
Oh shit! I
You
don't
are
remember
chronically
this.
vulgar.
You did, and Jack did. Jack joined in and pulled his
Old
trousers
Jack,
down.
the
as
old
well.
Jack. I like Jack.
Serious?
Yeah, John mooned a canal boat full of women on the Regent's Canal in London, just
Lovely.
by King's Cross.
Nice.
And yeah, I just wanted to mention it. Not that my wife listens to this, so I'm going to say nice things about her, and it won't give me. I won't get any benefit from this. Just so you know, this isn't going to get me any special treatment.
He's shouting loud so she can hear him upstairs.
So she'll. What was the time? She will still be awake, but she'll probably be playing Animal Crossing right now. And so I doubt she cares what we're saying. She doesn't listen to us our podcast at all. But it's
None
just,
of our wives do they? I mean,
yeah,
Other than Romana, she does.
Yeah.
Oh, does she? Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Does she follow the Instagram account?
No.
Well, I'm definitely posting that fucking video though.
The Instagram account is.
I'm quite scared of her.
It's pretty shit actually. So
Such a dick.
It is shit. Actually, I've saved a bunch of memes that you can post so that it doesn't have to be
to
quite
help
so
you
shit
out,
anymore.
our social media manager.
Yeah.
I have Facebook, YouTube set up.
Yeah, but
fucking
it
Instagram.
doesn't matter if it's all shit, John. And
It's funny. I get likes. I get shares. We got more listeners since I opened fucking Instagram. Motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's
let's
like
see.
Normie
But anyway, the point of me talking about what
Everybody's
I was talking
normal.
about, my
Sorry,
dad
Matt.
news, my husband news. It's just like, isn't it? It's quite interesting how your relationship changes once you have kids. And I think sometimes it's because you're so focused on the child and their development, you don't often step back and think what's happened to your relationship with your partner. And it's interesting to see the development of that because although there are certain things you lose because you can't focus on each other so much, so you're not quite as focused into each other's needs and what have you. But you get so strong and you're able to deal with so much
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And just the level of resilience you have and how you're able to just brush off stupid shit. Like today, earlier on, when we were getting ready to record, I went upstairs to get my headphones, and Amelie was pinching one out in the bath, and like literally turtle head situation. And if this had been when Amelie had first been born, it'd have been a whole big issue. But without really saying anything to each other, I went and helped out. We dealt with the shit. We got her sorted, and we're just such a good team at this point. We could deal with most things. And it's very nice. I'm not saying that everything's perfect, because of course it's not, and no relationship ever is. And you need to make sure that you continually working on all the different parts of your relationship. You can't let anything slide, because if you do, it's going to be a bad time for you, your partner, and your child. So you have to be on top of all of this. But yeah, it's just very nice to sometimes look around and think, we're doing all right.
Reverend McGinley preaching well. I like it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Matt.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Matt.
Thank you. Yay. And once Amelie hits 2, which isn't too far away, we're going to start to talk about baby number 2.
Yay.
Ooh.
And
we're not going to do a podcast after that. It's just going to end there.
That's it.
Because we have a podcast, then I'm going to keep you guys well updated on my journey, so that one day I can listen back and think,
You know what's going to be funny?
Fuck,
They're going to fuck once. She's going to get pregnant straight away. He's going to be pissed off.
You
I'm
talked
telling
over my joke. You talked over my joke. That's very mean.
I'm sorry, but it wasn't funny.
I called myself a C word as well. You'd have liked that. You'd have liked that, but no, you were selfish. You were selfish. I hope you can live with yourself.
Can we high five that one? Because we just interrupted. Thank you.
Fuck you guys.
Look how dejected he looks.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
We're sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
You're not really.
No, we're not.
You're not really. I know you. You'll be, if I left the room now, you'd high five again.
Yeah.
Probably with your penises.
just no, gone.
That is way too far.
I didn't get it out though.
But I liked it.
But you want to see my one ball?
Yeah, he does have one ball. Johnny only has one ball. The other isn't in the Albert Hall.
That's why they call me lefty.
Very nice.
Yeah. Anyway, we're
one
gonna.
left.
All right, if John shuts the fuck up,
Never.
we are going to take a brief break. Then we return. You're going to hear more of my voice because I'm going to review one of Amelie's kids' toys. So let's look forward to that. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back to Overly Honest Dads. Now it's time for product review, and it's my review. Yay! And so I'm going to take us back to probably the original intention of the podcast, which is a focus on parenting. Our reviews have gone all around the chart, really. We've reviewed...
I detest that. I'd still want to review my dishwasher.
No.
Hey, but
the vacuum cleaner review was good.
No.
You liked the
No.
vacuum cleaner review, didn't you guys?
No. I didn't like... no, actually, it was. I suppose... I was going to say interesting. That's an exaggeration.
Yeah. So
but we've reviewed a swimming pool. We've reviewed a
the swimming pool is
notepad.
for kids.
We've reviewed Huel. We've reviewed a Hoover. Or a vacuum cleaner, as you're probably going to correct me, Magnus.
No, hold on. The swimming pool was for the kids.
Yeah, but... Yeah,
my kids are older. They're not going to play with fucking toys, are they?
Yeah, but a lot of our listeners might be new parents. I mean, people who listen to parenting podcasts will probably likely be new parents, won't they? And so I'm going to review a kid's toy. So the kid's toy is the Fisher-Price FWG12 Game & Learn controller. The idea of this toy is it looks like an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. Now, it doesn't control a video game console of any description. Instead, it's one of those toys that makes slightly annoying noises like this. Or this. Or this. So, as you guys can see, so the guys here are looking at it, it's a very colourful controller. It looks like you'd expect a game controller to look like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is where I expect you to say
something.
It
does.
Thank you. So just to let you guys know, I bought this from Amazon. I bought it in February, and it currently costs £13.98 plus free shipping. So it's fairly cheap. So let me take you on a tour through this kid's toy. So there are two main settings. One is Let's learn. And so this is a learning section. Red. And it gives you colours. Orange. More yellow than orange, I think. Square. Triangle. Those are the face buttons. Now, if you press the analog stick, you get the following noises. A, B, C, D. Come and play a game with me. This is typically annoying, isn't it?
So
I actually like
So
that stuff.
if I can just a tip, segment for tip of the week for parenting. Any toy you get, whether it's given to your child by friends of the family or you buy it for them, don't fucking put batteries in them. Do yourself a fucking favour, because they're an annoying little fucking shits, aren't they? Because they're going to be doing that all fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Are you regretting the purchase already, Matthew?
Not really, because the alternative is similar toys that speak in German. Because
Meine Steine. It would sound scarier, basically. It's still very annoying.
So you got to keep when you're raising bilingual children, you got to make sure that there's equal representation of language, and this is one of the ways of doing it. So let's press the D-pad. This is numbers, but with some shooting noises.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
So the face button's a D-pad and the analog stick. You're great. Yeah. So
1, 2, 3, 4. Your mum's a whore. What?
So John obviously brought the tone down. So the other setting is let's play, and this is where you get more stereotypical video game noises. That's quite Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very Star Wars, yeah.
Level 2, level 3, level 4. Orange, purple, white and pink. Green, red and blue. Woohoo!
And your mummy stinks. What? That would wind me
I
the
think
fuck
they're
up.
pretty cool. I like
It
it.
wouldn't have wind you up after about half an hour.
No, I'm not normal. I really like these
Yeah,
things.
and then on the shoulder buttons, you've got more tactile. There's one that's just the sort of click, so you click it from side to side, and one's like a scroll wheel.
That scroll wheel doesn't.
Jokes
seem
aside, does
satisfying.
she
It seems to
enjoy it,
stop
though?
after.
Yeah, it doesn't have much distance on it.
Don't like that. It's not
Does
like
she
a
enjoy
scroll,
it?
She does, but it's one of
Okay.
those things that she'll pick up for 5 or 10 minutes and put down again.
as is with everything.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
kind of what you
that's
expect
typical,
with toys.
Yeah.
So I think the positives of this, one is indoctrination. So I very much intend for Emily to play video games with me in the future. I think that's one thing we're going to bond over. And I've talked to you guys before about how she sat on my knee and played. I've watched me play Fall Guys, which is a new battle royale style Takeshi's Castle-esque game, and she's also watched me play some Mario. And I like video games. My wife likes video games, and these days, when we were growing up, it was a very geeky thing to do, right? You generally had a bit of stigma about if you played games, but kids these days don't quite have that same stigma because it's such a normal part of life to young people growing up today. And I like to think this is something we can share. And so this is definitely indoctrination, but also Fisher Price do tend to have fairly high quality toys. They're robust. I mean, you'd have to give this is solid. You'd have to give this abuse to break it.
Fisher Price is the one, really, isn't it?
We've had it for 6 months and it hasn't needed new batteries yet, so it seems to be fairly efficient on that front. And so all in all, it's a fairly straightforward, easy purchase.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, well, I mean, let's go on to the negatives quickly.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, I think compared with other toys that she has, I think it maybe has limited value because she has things like there's a fire truck, a bus, and a police car thing. And I think when you can move things around and they got wheels on, there's an extra element of imaginative play you can have. Whereas with this, you play the sounds and then you put it down again.
Yeah.
So I think there's limited amount of engagement a child can have with it. And so that is a potential downside compared with other toys you can get, but with the cost it's fairly minimal. You could fairly easily gift this to a relative's family. It's not an expensive toy to buy. It's probably quite suitable for a relative's birthday or something like that, or just a nice cheap little treat to buy your little kiddie. So I think that is where I stand on it, and overall I'd play my little guitar and give it 8 out of 10.
Hey, there you go.
So that is my review of this Fisher Price pretend gamepad thingy.
Excellent. Off the back of that, Matt, and because it's musical, this reminded me of something. So Quinn's auntie bought her this fluffy dog toy called Scout, and you can change the name that it says. It's got like 100 different things that it says to you, and you plug it into your computer and you go onto the website and you sign up, and it sends your kid's name to the dog, and so the dog will say Quinn, but there is this tune that it plays that is flipping sick. Like I absolutely love it. Do you mind if I play it on the
Sure,
podcast for you guys
as long as it's
hear?
quick, why not?
All right, so this is it here. I think it's so catchy. This one.
Listeners, Magnus is proper jamming out here. He looks happier than I've seen him all evening.
My thoughts.
You don't like it? You don't like that? Oh, I love it. I love when it comes on. It's like roulette. Yeah, I really
too
enjoy
much.
it.
Well,
Too much.
Thanks for that, Magnus.
You should
No,
review
thank
that.
you, Matt.
You're right. So we're going to take a brief break like we do quite regularly. And when we return, it's time for World of Parenting. So we'll see you for that in just a second. Welcome back to Overly Honest Dads. And now we're going to take you through a trip to the world of parenting. So for the uninitiated, this is where our resident boffin, Magnus, gives us science story. One thing to note is that both Magnus and John kind of resist the labels I've given them, the boffin and jester labels. However, I've known these guys for a long time, and I think they're very appropriate. So I think it's time they stop fighting against them and accept themselves for who they really are. Magnus, our science boffin, will give us a science story, and John, our jester, will give us a slightly more nonsense story that I picked out for him. So
Nonsense, John.
SPB.
I know. I think Johnny Nonsense.
Johnny Nonsense. I can live with that. I can live with Johnny Nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. So Magnus,
And
give
Maggie News and Johnny Nonsense.
us.
So
And
Matty Fatty Twatty.
God, I've not heard that in a long time.
I know, right?
That is a long time. So Magnus, give us your science story.
All right, okay, guys. Now, if you remember in the previous episode, I discussed recent findings that babies are bamboozling us with their apparent fondness of baby talk, but in reality, understand us perfectly and are playing the long con. Now, a paper was recently published this August as well in the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute paper.
Oh, my favourite.
There we are. Yeah, my favourite too. I get that along with FHM. That argued that mother bats
Is
also.
FHM still around?
I don't think so.
It's old school, man. Fucking hell.
It's like Lucy Pinder and all that. Yeah, I know. You remember?
It's like page 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nuts and Zoo.
Indeed, yeah. Now, they argued that mother bats also use baby talk, or the equivalent of it, to communicate with their pups. So that we're all clear on what baby talk is. It's when adults slow down their speech, raise their pitch, colour the sound of their voice, which supposedly increases infants' attention and encourages language learning or whatever. Now, the greater sack-winged bat, and if I'm pronouncing this correctly...
Is it good in a soup?
The corona bat. Oh, that's the joke.
Oh, there you go.
Is it good in a soup? Goodness, probably. If you're in for some pulmonary edema. Now, the greater sack-winged bat, Sacopteryx bilineata, potentially.
Can you repeat that?
No. And it's in the regions of Central and South America. It appears to also engage in this bullshit behaviour. Now, there were two interesting findings. During the first 3 months of the pups' lives, when they're experimenting with vocalisation, one could say that they're bi-babbling. Their mother would actually reciprocate and babble back, produce similar sounds as if positive feedback. And 2, the mother will colour the sound of their vocalisations when addressing the pups compared to calls when addressing adult bats. And this is the first time they've ever seen this with bats. But it seems that bats themselves are also just doing this baby talk bullshit, this patronising.
So I guess it's an animal feature across species.
Who knows? I've not seen any research for any other animals, but it's an interesting thing to think about. Like it does make you question whether or not it's innate to mammals, or maybe
I guess it is
elsewhere in the animal kingdom. You know, what's the actual purpose of it? It's supposedly to help with language acquisition.
Very interesting.
And gaining their attention.
Who published this again?
This was published in the Smithsonian by the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute. And it was published, I think, on the 31st of August.
Thank you, Boffin.
My pleasure. I hope you like that.
I liked it very much.
Can I lower the tone?
Well, it's very
Matthew?
COVID. Bats, COVID.
Yeah.
It's in keeping with our times, our bat afflicted era. So Nonsense, John.
Oh,
Now's your time. It's your time to shine.
Thank you, Reverend McGinley. So, again, the Metro strikes again. So, we've changed from going to, our typical Daily Mail, and we moved on and gone to the Metro, which is quite interesting.
Mhm, it's an evolution.
It's an evolution indeed. So, the article, just the title just cracks me up. It's Mum gives birth to surprise baby on the side of the motorway, just 2 days after learning she was pregnant.
Yeah, well. So read on.
Who had all the pies? When Stacey Stevenson's 30 noticed she put on some weight, she assumed that it was just down to increased snacking and lack of activity in lockdown. She couldn't have known that she was actually pregnant, especially as she had no other symptoms. Then she noticed that her feet were oddly swollen and decided to take a pregnancy test. This just sounds like bullshit, to be honest. Anyway, to her surprise, it came back positive. It wasn't the Snicker bar. It was the old sausage. I had no idea the whole way through, Stacey said.
Where did that?
I didn't go away. I had no symptoms or anything. I swear down.
This is
you did it. That's not what happened. Is she called Stacey, or did you make that up? Oh no. Okay.
Stacey.
Oh, right. Okay. And did she say swear down?
No, she didn't. But that fit quite appropriately. Safe to say, it was the biggest shock of my life. I don't think I'm over it yet, and he's 5 weeks old.
That accent is kind of funny.
My water's broke at 23:15, 11:15. And I was on the phone to 999 by 11:30. To be fair, the picture of the baby is very cute. All right.
Okay.
Just 2 days after discovering she was pregnant, Stacey's waters broke at her home in Tillicoultry, wherever the fuck that is.
What?
And she called for an ambulance.
You would.
Yeah, as you do. I think that's the idea. Anyway, we headed to the hospital, but I didn't quite make it. Emma and Lorraine were amazing for the second they arrived. They were calm and confident, even though I think it was the first baby either of them have delivered. I don't know who the fuck Emma and Lorraine are. She just says that. It's just so random.
This is pretty harsh.
This
John.
is a brilliant
I
article.
don't think you should be so mean. Imagine if Stacey was listening to this. She'd be like, that's not what I fucking am.
First responder Emma said, both myself and Lorraine are very happy that the delivery went well and that we were able to offer Stacey some reassurance and put her at ease as much as possible.
Do you know any Stacey's?
I've known one through work.
Yeah,
yeah, I know one, and also all I'm thinking is Stacey Solomon, who is hilarious. Stacey Solomon, I really find her funny. She's genuinely a very nice person. She's a famous person.
I once
from
saw
X
her.
Factor.
She was.
her, yeah.
Yeah.
She's genuinely a nice person.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
I once saw her at a.
What was that? She's
TV
genuinely
recorder.
nice for a donkey.
Yeah.
So she goes out with that annoying Essex guy. What's his name?
Yeah, well, they're
Joe
both from
Swash.
Essex, aren't
Joe
they?
Swash.
Yeah, she's from
And so
Dagenham.
I saw them at a TV recording. They were recording this comedy show on Comedy Central, and my cousin got me to go along, and they were on that show. So yeah, but they were quite endearing. They seemed like nice people.
She is very nice, but this kind of Stacey, it's just like you had all the pies, didn't realise you were pregnant. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, and so do you guys think it's realistic that someone can get to the third trimester and genuinely not know they're pregnant, or do you think that they will know but are repressing it a little bit in the hope that something happens?
I'm pretty sure there are exceptions. I'm willing to believe it.
I find it really hard to believe, genuinely, and I don't mean that to be negative towards the people that are in that situation, because I wouldn't want to. I don't want to, suggest that they were lying necessarily, but I do genuinely find it hard to believe.
You're calling me a liar?
I just, you know what it's like when your partner's there. There's so many signs.
Yeah,
so many signs. I could tell. I was fairly confident within like a small percentage that my wife was pregnant before we even did the pregnancy test. I could tell the difference.
Yeah, it's the same. I was confident that Romana was pregnant, and we hadn't even had sex yet.
Anyway, so thank you for that story. Nonsense,
okay.
John. So thank you, both of you, for taking you through this world of parenting. This is my favourite segment because I don't have to do anything really. So it's really
Then he
great.
moans when he's not involved. But anyway.
No, I don't. I'm really happy because it meant I could plan out the next one, which I've just done. So anyway, so we're going to return in just a moment with some Am I Being Unreasonable? We'll see you in just a moment. Bye-bye. Welcome back to this final segment of episode 24 of Overly Honest Dads, and we're going to be doing some Am I Being Unreasonable? So for anyone who's not listened to us before, this is where we go through some posts that have been posted to Mumsnet, to a board called Am I Being Unreasonable, where people put up issues they're having in their lives and they ask for opinions, and we're going to give ours. They're not invited, but we're going to give them anyway. So the first post is by someone called Watching the Baby Monitor, and the subject line of the post is, "Dear husband, watching me on the baby monitor." So let's read the post. "We have a video baby monitor in our house to watch the baby, obviously. It's always on. I never thought much about it. It's one of those that goes through your phone and you can watch it wherever you are. However, I've just found that dear husband is logging into it when he's out and watching what's going on when I'm by myself with the kids. I don't know how often or for how long. It does send notifications through the phone when it senses movement. I'm not happy with this, so I'd ask what you all thought."
Fucking ask him.
I think it's, just...
Like, I know for a fact if Romy saw me doing that shit, she'd be like, "What are you doing?"
To be honest, if I was the guy, it would be just curiosity of being able to use the fucking thing.
agreed,
I mean, to be
agreed.
honest, just like, I just think that you can check. It's pretty cool.
He could be worried that she might be doing things she shouldn't be doing, but then again, why would he do it where the baby monitor is? That sounds like a pretty bad place to do things.
Do it with another man, like, outside the crew, like, tut, tut, tut. Like doing it with Bill Cosby. There comes the pudding.
But he is a convicted rapist, by the way. We should probably
Oh,
say.
yeah. That's a good point. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just ruined Cosby, hasn't it? That fucking story.
Well,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
his fault more than anyone else.
Well, he's ruined himself, really.
But
Yeah.
what about the Australian guy with the didgeridoo?
Rolf.
Yeah.
G'day, children.
So apparently it's not the only person that's done this. So a poster called Sunshine and Sparkle says, "My brother-in-law does this and I find it very odd. My son-in-law claims it doesn't bother her at all, which I find weird. Or sister-in-law claims it doesn't bother. I would find it an invasion of privacy, even though I'm not doing anything odd. I wouldn't like the feeling of being watched in my own home," which is fair enough. But then you have a camera in your own home. So
I drop in on Alexa all the fucking time.
Yeah.
do you?
Do you do the drop in? I do the drop in on Alexa and just freak out the kids. Like, kids, I can hear you. They're like, Daddy! It's like a celebration when I do it.
Yeah, I see. We have like a Eufy baby
Eufy?
monitor. Yeah, Eufy. It's an Anchor. Yeah, Anchor.
No idea what a Eufy is or what.
Sorry,
An anchor for a boat. I know.
Anchor. They're like a brand, like a really high quality Chinese brand. And they used to make things for other people, but decided to make
Made
it
their
for
own
themselves.
brand.
Yeah, and they called it Anchor. Of all the names they could have used, Anchor. They're literally one letter away from
Wanker.
Yeah, literally.
Wanker.
And they make high quality stuff, and we got a baby monitor for £100. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Anyways, you can do the whole thing where you speak through the headset to the baby.
Oh, wow.
In the camera, and I crack it open and have a look all the time to see what Quinn is doing. She's so cute when she's asleep and grabbing
so cute when
Teddy.
they're
They
asleep,
are,
aren't
aren't they?
they?
You know.
Yeah.
But then when she's awake, when she's woken up, and I speak to her through it, she flies off the handle. She's so scared. I've done it like 7 or 8 times now.
Oh, mate.
Okay, not that many. I'm joking. I'm only teasing. But she starts crying. Like, who the fuck is that? Where's our voice coming from?
Oh, man.
Daddy.
In the old house, when we only had 2 kids at a time, Chris used to get up in the middle of the night and go to the toilet and pull the toilet paper down. And he did it about 3 or 4 times. Now I've got the company phone, I've got my phone. So what I did is I put the company phone on FaceTime in the bathroom, everything dark. And every time there was me, it was like, Chris, I can see you. And it'd be like, and then he'd run back to bed. And I did it about 3 times in a row. He never did it again. It was quite fun, though. Bullying him in the dark through FaceTime.
So where are we standing? Is she being unreasonable to complain about it?
I think
or-
she is. I would just talk to the guy. Stop using
Yeah,
the fucking
Nah,
internet as a fucking cushion.
It's a bit of A, bit of B.
Okay.
You know, just have a chat.
bit
with
of
the
this,
guy.
bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Share your problems with each other and
Don't
not with mums
think
now.
the worst.
Yeah, nobody fucking cares.
Okay, so we do because we're reading these.
Well, we need the news for content, but yeah, nobody cares otherwise.
We do care because we won't get marmalade vodka.
Good point.
Yeah. So anyway, so the next post is by someone called Aubergine Hater.
Yeah, fuck aubergines.
Yeah. Aubergine.
What? The
Disgusting.
Parmigiana with the aubergine? Are you fucking the
man,
eggplant?
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's
it.
like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? You like aubergines?
Of
She
course
might be
I
a
love 'em. I'm
seen as
Italian.
aubergines mean penis in modern emoji terms, and maybe she's a lesbian, but actually she's not because this includes a guy. So anyway, am I being unreasonable to feel miffed at partners' nights away? So here is the post. Bit of background: 3 children, 2 girls from my previous marriage, 1 8-month-old baby. Partner's mother lives nearby. Increasingly, he will decide to stay over at her house 1 night a week. Leaves in the evening, not back until the following afternoon. This really annoys me. I feel like I'm being left out, literally holding the baby. None of my friends live nearby, and with COVID at the moment, not easy to organise an evening meetup either. Am I being silly? I'm entirely ready to be told that I am. I don't want to be controlling or stop him going out, but I feel 1 night a week is a bit much.
Talk
he
to
is
him.
/ was an only child and says he just needs some downtime, which I understand, but it's really eating into what I see as our weekend time together. Please let me know your thoughts.
Talk to him, you twit. Again,
I
why
guess
mums...
I guess that she probably has though, and that he said it's not a problem, and that he needs, because she said
Give
that
him an
he needs his time
ultimatum.
alone. So she has talked to him about it. What do we think? Is it reasonable to spend 1 night a week away from your partner when you have kids together, or at least a kid and 2 other from a previous marriage?
Well, yeah, it is unreasonable.
It's the same
Like
thing
that-
we were saying
that's
the other
simple.
last week. I mean, if your partner, you're together in on something, you need to... I'd feel guilty if I behaved like that.
Yeah.
Once again,
Yeah.
I would feel guilty.
It's the regular nature of it, which is weird. There's no reason why you can't, agree to take a day or a fucking week. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. But like the regularity of it, I'm an only child. I haven't got anyone else either.
Yeah.
It's just a bit weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're
weird.
both only children, aren't you?
Yeah.
You too. I don't have that. Well,
Are you an only
privilege.
child, John? Haha, fucking loser.
Yeah, same here.
But I think it's worth pointing out that we.
My twin brother's dead, by the way.
You had a twin brother.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Seriously?
let's stop talking about dead family members. It
Yeah,
really gets
sure.
people down.
This is not good.
But one thing I was going to say
This
is that we've had a theme, I think, with these Am I Being Unreasonables, is there's a lot of men out there who seem to carve out a lot of time for themselves at the expense of their partner. It's
DBD.
definitely a theme, isn't it?
Well, but women do it too.
But we've
But
not.
we're on mum's net, not dad's net.
Yeah, that is a point. But I mean, I can't remember hearing a dad complain about the partner taking too much time out. I mean, if I think about the context of my own life, which I appreciate is anecdotal and not representative, but still, I can't remember hearing the same issues coming from women.
No, you are. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, deadbeat dads. I mean, but again, in that relationship, put your foot down.
Mhm.
I mean, there is one thing that I stand by in my mind. Oh, I'm going to be so fucking honest about this. Pussy can control the world. 100%.
Do you not mean women can control the world?
No. But pussy
he,
as
he literally
pussy,
means the vagina.
pussy as the object can control the world.
So that means trans men can control the world.
Women can manage sex to manage men. Learn how
Doesn't
to
seem
manage.
to be working.
No, this seems to be
I
a
think the
losing
world is
battle.
developing. The world is developing. We are getting. To be honest, I've recently had the best boss I've ever had.
I thought you were going to say the best sex.
No. I've had the best boss I've had
the
in
best
10 years.
sex
Yeah.
with my boss.
Absolutely.
Well,
No.
if you're to simplify it in a very sexist way, then you could equally argue.
Women could rule the world quite nicely. You learn to manage your man. I mean, honestly, you can easily manage a man. It doesn't take much to manage a man.
But
It
why
really
should they
doesn't.
need to manage a
don't-
man? Surely it
sure.
should be a partnership, 50-50.
It should be a partnership, but some men are
I
fucking
mean,
idiots and they need to be managed.
You seem
Yeah,
to prefer a dictatorship model, and I like to think that we do not need dictatorship in relationships.
The Führer agrees with your theory.
Remember, I'm married to a German. So
But
let's
who's
not
not
go
a
down the
Nazi?
Fury
Who's
route.
not a Nazi?
How do you know?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anyway, let's move on. So the next post is from a poster named Go-Go Jojo. And the post is, am I being unreasonable to make my 10-year-old go to sleep at 9 p.m? This is for John because he's got older children. So I want to hear his thoughts on this. So I'm trying to get my family back to a routine now that the children are back to school. My eldest child is 10, just started year 6. And I have told him he is to go to bed at 8:30 and then can read till 9, then lights out. No electronics after 9:30. I've been told that this is totally unfair and all of his friends are online until 9 and he should be allowed to go to bed at 9 and read till 9:30. Is it unreasonable to tell him it's lights out at 9? What time do you pop your 10-year-olds down to go to sleep?
John?
7:30.
Whoa.
Oh.
Are you joking?
Nope.
So it is a dictatorship at your
Shit,
house.
That is.
No, they go to bed at 7:30. They can
into their
talk.
gym.
They talk and muck about in bed in their room,
Yeah.
but in their room at 7:30.
And when do they go to sleep?
They get up at 6 every morning. By 9, they're all flat out asleep because they get up at 6. Automatically get up at 6. All three of them, and we haven't set them to that time scale. They just wake up at 6.
Okay.
Even if they go to bed at 11, at 6 o'clock in the morning, they're up. So to be honest, they need the energy. And now that they're back in school, 7:30 they go to bed.
So
when they're not in
do you
school,
have
they stay
any-
up later.
Do you have any aversions to them going to sleep at 9:30?
No, but they need to be in the fucking room because to be honest,
So they do have to be in their room at 7:30.
7:30, yeah. And the reason is the tiredness on us as parents with MS. I'll be honest with you guys, it's just fucking knackering. It really is. With 3 kids, you need structure because otherwise it just one, you don't get to talk to your wife, you don't get to kind of switch off for 10 minutes. The decibel level in my house with 3 kids is through the roof. So you need a 7:30, you go to bed, you go to your room, and the boys downstairs will be chatting away.
Yeah.
She'll be upstairs playing with her toys quite quietly in her room, and then they'll sort of sneak up into their bed and fall asleep. But by 9, all 3 of them are asleep. But definitely, you need the
And
break
so
because when you've got more than one child, the noise level throughout the day is
Okay.
literally exhausting. It really is.
Okay. Have
Cool.
you considered manning up?
What do you mean?
I don't know, just stop being a
Growing
pussy.
a pair. Yeah.
Growing a pair? Oh, right, yeah.
Fucking
but
wuss.
Well, you've only got one, so you definitely don't have a pair. So you should probably
grow
grow
a single. Grow a single.
Yeah, grow a
It's fine
ball.
because I want to
Grow a
see you
ball,
two when
John.
your kids grow up. It'd be quite fun.
Well,
I can
yeah,
see if you can handle
yeah.
my level.
I'm only teasing. I'm just doing what
my
you do.
level of management.
Okay, so our final post for the day is from someone called
Final
Famous.
pussy.
It's called Famous for Wrong Reason, and
We have no jizz pigeon.
no, just
I'm
pigeon
so-
for a while.
I
Famous for
wait
wrong
for
reasons.
jizz pigeon every single week.
Well,
Famous for wrong
hopefully,
reasons.
Jizz
Is it Kim
Pigeon.
Kardashians.
Hopefully, Jizz Pigeon will erupt again.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah, and the post is called "Am I being unreasonable to feel intimidated by conspiracy theorists?" So this is very, very much one for the times we're living in today. I have a lot of friends who seem to have moved into plandemic territory. Masks are evil, etc. Get new friends. Some people who I'd at least expect to have these beliefs are rational people. They've linked COVID to 5G and are now. By the way, apparently people that love 5G that go for 5G conspiracy theorists are called 5G dephiles. Anyway, let me get back to it. They've linked COVID to 5G and are now crusading to save our children, saying anyone who doesn't join in is complicit in child abuse and people trafficking. They literally say this. So if you're against 5G, so if you're not against 5G, you're complicit in paedophilia, apparently. They literally say this. This is not even one group of friends. We're disparate, unconnected from each other. I feel they are dropping like flies. I have every reason to believe that these campaigns have right-wing connections, and they do. Many of them are using American spelling for things which are also being shared by QAnon people. There is some crossover. I'm not keen on our government, not overly happy with masks, but also not overly bothered. I'll do what I can to help get things back to normal. Maybe I'm being naive there. No, you're not. It's just sensible. I just want to rant, really. I keep inadvertently insulting people when I bring it up in real life, and each time a new person tells me their thoughts on it, I just become more alarmed. I would also do anything I can to protect children. I just feel that linking up with these militant groups is not the only way. Plus, the friends who are heavily involved seem to have become friends with some really heavy and sinister Tommy Robinson types. I feel worried about the mass hysteria, but also sad I'm losing friends, and worried about where this will end. Is anyone experiencing this? Am I being unreasonable to feel this is slightly sinister?
Wow.
Magnus.
So what do they call them? 5G
5G defiles.
5G defiles, mask debaters.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, there you are. And I think that's really unfair to say if you are complicit with 5G, then you're a paedophile. I've been perfectly fine on 4G.
Oh, Jesus.
But when it comes to conspiracy theorists, I've ranted about this in earlier podcasts. There is absolutely no reasoning with them. It's a logical loop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
It's a feedback loop which cannot be broken. And the only people that can come out of it are them themselves. Flat Earth flat earthers, it was something that you laughed at. There's flat earthers all the way around the world, for example. It's something that you laughed at and found funny. Now people are taking it genuinely seriously. How can an electromagnetic wave with an electric field and a perpendicular magnetic field generate an organism, a large molecule like a virus? Like that makes no logical sense.
No.
If you are someone who is a virologist, you'd be like, nah, that doesn't. It's not the way it works. Or even someone with cursory understanding of biology, that it doesn't work. But when it comes to conspiracy theories, the truth is fact of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
So, as society has developed, people have gone from being religious maniacs to being maniacs about other things. And this is what's happened. And the internet has opened the door for weird people to connect with each other throughout the world. And they find subjects to fap over. And that's pretty much what's happening. And people are fapping over things that are through the roof.
Yeah.
What I will say with conspiracy theory and all this sort of stuff, I mean, whatever floats your boat. Again, I think I'm probably a bit too down to earth. And I'm the guy that has a go bag, right? I have a go bag in the garage. So if there was an earthquake or anything like that, I have a bag filled with...
that's different. That's sensible precaution.
That's precaution. It's a go bag. If there's an earthquake, if there's a flood, if there's problems with my house, I can just pick up the bag, me and the kids and the family go out, boom, get in a car, get away.
What purification tablets did you buy?
I can't remember. I've got them sitting there. I've got purification tablets, got first aid kit. I've got a bunch of stuff, but you need to have it. I've got an axe. I've got knives. I've got all sorts.
Just about to ask you.
Yeah, I've got everything set up. I've got a compass, the whole lot. But it's a go bag, and for me, it's a precaution. If there's an earthquake or anything like that, grab, go, off you go. It's not conspiracy theory. It's just in case.
Yeah.
This shit is just people don't have friends, and they find them online, and they'll fap over all this stuff, and they won't listen to science because it's the same sort of bashing that they would do over religion or they would do over politics. They're now doing over this.
Well, and
it's
also
just some people need something to hold on to.
Also, it's easier to believe a meme that you read online or a small piece of text than it is to actually learn and do research and make independent decisions and choices based upon educating yourself.
Exactly.
And I think that
we're all way too stressed. Everyone is, the whole planet.
People
is
need
stressed.
to have some drinks.
I think this is what it is.
it's strange times for the world right now,
reasons.
so it maybe isn't too surprising that people are falling for this more than anything else. Since about 2015, 2016, we've been in a different world to where we've been in before.
Yeah.
And some people are susceptible to this stuff, and some people are probably too susceptible to the opposite as well. I mean, I think it's too easy to be someone who is aloof and doesn't try and empathize with whoever is falling for these things. We need to try and think why they're falling for them, and try and understand that as opposed to simply condemning. It helps to try and get into empathize. Empathy is key to all of these situations. So empathize with why people might be thinking these things. Maybe then you can get a better grip on how you can get people back to a more productive mindset, a more productive and logical mindset. The world is, to some extent, logical, and things like conspiracy theories are illogical. If you want to do some extra reading in this stuff, look at Occam's razor. Occam's razor is a theory that was from a 12th century monk in Northumberland.
Keep it simple, stupid.
The idea is essentially the simplest solution to a problem is most likely the right one. So if you think a good example of this is 9/11, if you think 9/11 was a conspiracy that involves tens of thousands of people keeping a secret for many, many years, the easiest solution is a bunch of terrorists. That's far more logical. And apply that same logic to anything else. Whatever is the most simplest explanation is most likely the correct one. And that is a simple piece of logic that will see you through a lot of things in life.
10,000 people keeping a secret. Seriously, you want to keep a secret? There's a secret between three guys. Two need to be dead for the secret to stay. I mean, the idea that people keep a secret over 9/11 blows my mind.
Yeah, it's madness. And when you think about it in those terms, I think a lot of things start to make more sense.
Well, guys, if you really think about it, it's obvious what's happening here, right? So you have all these conspiracy theories. Well, you have all these conspiracy theories that are floating around the web, and you have people that are susceptible to believe those conspiracy theories, picking up on them, and they're conveniently appearing on their feeds. Okay, so it makes you think: why are they appearing on their specific feeds? Who is putting those conspiracy theories in front of them? And then you look wider, and then you look at the... No, I'm not going to go there. Fuck it.
All right.
It's a load of bullshit.
Right, well, let's finish on that note. We like to finish on a bit of bullshit, so why not? So thank you for your contributions,
My pleasure.
Magnus and John. Thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
Matthew.
Thank you for regaling us with your bullshit. And thank you, listeners out there. So if you want to get in touch with us, if you want to ask us questions, send us abuse, suggestions, whatever it might be, you can email us at overlyhonestdads@gmail.com. That's overlyhonestdads@gmail.com. John runs a questionable Instagram account at overlyhonestdads.
John, we need to talk about it.
He's just posted something up there that he probably shouldn't have done. Let's see. And then we also have YouTube. If you want to listen to us on YouTube rather than your podcast app of choice, you can do that. Please like, subscribe, review our podcast. That helps more people find us, which is ultimately the whole point of doing this. We don't want to just talk to each other. We want to talk with you out there. So all that remains is for me to thank you, listeners, for tuning in. It's an honor to do this for you. We'll see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.